Hello, and welcome back. I'm so glad you're all here with me today. I have something fun and exciting to share with you. A brand spanking new company. This is Graceful Nails. They reached out to me and asked me if I'd be willing to try their products, and they offered to sponsor this video. So I am going to show you everything that they sent me, and we're gonna start with this cute little box. I love the presentation and I love the packaging. Everything is so neat, everything fits perfectly, and she even included some candy. You know, I think it's a fun little touch when shop owners add little touches like that. But there are, I believe, 16 colors in this box. And will you just look at this packaging? I absolutely love that the lid is see-through, that you can actually see the color through the lid. The branding is just really, really beautiful, and everything feels really high quality. They're also sealed. I'm just opening this one on camera because I wanted you to see how nicely these are packaged and how safe your products will be. If you do decide to pick up any of these beautiful colors, they will be perfectly protected. Do not worry, I am not going to make you watch me open every single one of these. I will do all of that off camera. I just wanted to show you with this one. So now that I've got it open, I'm going to show you the colors one after another pretty quickly. I don't want to take too much time doing this, but there are just so many beautiful colors, and they're all pretty well matched. So all the glitters have a solid color that they match up with, but you can mix and match them as you please. Now, what I do want to point out, and I think I showed you really briefly on the very first one that I showed you, that these dip powders do not have names. They have letters. So on the bottom of each jar, there's a letter. But I'm going to link the exact products that I use in this video for the mani that I'm doing. And then you can just, you know, if you decide to shop her site, you can just kind of look at the colors and decide which ones you want. But I will link the ones that I'm going to use down below. Now, these glitter mixes are all in a clear base. So you can use them as toppers, or you can use them on their own. They are gorgeous. And I actually end up using one of them on its own. No base color underneath it, because I really kind of liked the way that the clear base made it look like the glitters were just kind of floating on my nail. But every single one of these mixes has a combination of larger hex glitters, medium glitters, fine glitters, and extra fine glitters. There's a lot going on in these jars, and they end up looking beautiful on the nail, and you're going to see what I mean when we get to that part of the video. Now, the last thing that I'm going to mention about this dip collection is that they are all glows. The solids glow, and the glitters inside the glitter mixes, some of them glow too. Don't worry, I'll share glow pics at the end of the video. But now, let's get into the other bag she sent, because that's not all. There's more. So she sent a cute little note on the back of her card thanking me and all of that. That was very sweet. And she also sent me some of her water slide decals, 4 different kinds. I struggled to decide which ones to use. I think you're going to be kind of surprised which ones I chose, because, you know, and I think this person knows me a little bit, because most of what she sent me was purple. I mean, every single one of these water slide decals has some form of purple in it. Like, seriously, even if it was a coincidence, I'm truly grateful because I love my purples. But look at this. 9 chrome powders she sent me as well. Holy smokes. And guess what? They all coordinate with these colors. It's crazy. They all coordinate. Everything. You'll never have to struggle to figure out what goes together, because they're all matched for you. So yeah, that's just easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? Now, you know I've got to open every single one of these powders and show you how absolutely stunning they are, because they are stunning. Look at this. The shifts in these, it's crazy, crazy. And when I tell you, you are going to be shocked when you see which chrome I choose to use. But when I opened the jar, it just took my breath away. Took my breath away. It really did. It's so not a color I generally reach for, but this is what I decided to go with, y'all. Pinks and corals. And yes, I did throw in some purple. The glitter has the purple in it. But I just could not resist that chrome powder. So I'm just, what? Okay, I just need to slow way down because I'm talking too fast. And yes, those are the water slide decals that I decided to go with. You'll see them when I'm ready to put them on, when I'm ready to apply them. But that chrome powder is what pretty much determined this mani, because I had to choose colors that would go with that chrome powder because it's very different and unique, and that just made me want to wear it. Yep, I had to put it on my nails. So as you can see, I have already dipped out the majority of my nails because you know what? Y'all have seen me dip my nails. I wanted to get through my basic dip application, so I'm just showing you the last layer that I am doing with this gorgeous coral color on my thumb, and then I'm going to apply the chunky glitter because I wanted you to see how I would apply that. As I normally do with foils and chunky glitters, I am going to pour over the first layer. I'm going to let that dry for a couple of seconds, and then I'm going to go in with my base liquid again, and then I'm going to lay my finger end flat, and then any spots that I have that might look a little naked or need a little bit of filling in, I am going to do some glitter placement using one of my little wooden toothpicks. I do not use my cleanup tool for this simply because I don't want it to be gunked up with dip liquid and stuff. You can file it off, but I feel like that changes the tip of the tool. So I stopped doing that because eventually I was filing it so much that the tool just got way too sharp. So I'm going to use a wooden toothpick to pick up the glitters when I'm doing the glitter placement. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to do here. I'm not going to talk through it. I'm just going to let you kind of zone out and watch. And then I'm going to encapsulate in clear, and then off camera I'm going to file and I'm going to shape everything, and then when I come back we're going to get into the whole chroming stuff. As you all know, I am no longer a gel user for the most part, so I will be doing my non-gel chroming technique in this video. I do have a full tutorial on that where I explain every single thing I'm doing, and I will link that up in the cards for you. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, and I'm gonna stop yammering on and let you just watch. So I have gone ahead and filed everything off camera, and now we are going to get into chroming. This is my non-gel chroming technique. I did not discover or invent this method. I learned it from watching other tutorials. I think Sip and Dip, Chelsea from Sip and Dip did this, and a couple of others that I can't remember off the top of my head right now. But basically, I'm using the water-based top coat from 𝕉𝓼𝓼, the smudge-free top coat from 𝕉𝓼𝓼. But first, I put down a layer of the sticky base coat. That's, one, to smooth everything out. Everything lays more nicely when there's a base coat underneath it, but also to hopefully prevent some peeling and chipping that could occur if I didn't use it. So base coat first. Then I go in with the smudge-free top coat, and then I let it dry completely, 100% dry. It's not going to work if it's tacky, so you got to make sure that it's completely dry. Be patient, don't rush it. But before we get into the chroming, can we just talk about how flippin' pretty that color is right there? Can you just admire it with me, please? Because it's a beautiful, like, peachy coral. It's a little more coral in person than it looks on camera. It looks really peachy on camera, but this chromes over it so beautifully. It just enhances the color, and like, it's not an in-your-face chrome, but it's just very subtly beautiful. Does that make sense? I know. I say that all the time. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? But I just want to make sure that I'm being clear in my descriptions. That's all. Moving on. So I'm using a makeup sponge, a makeup eyeshadow. What do you call it? Eyeshadow applicator? Yeah, that's the thing I'm talking about. To apply, to apply the chrome powder, and then I kind of gently buff it in with my finger. I never rub too hard, because you don't want to rub that chrome off again with your finger, because sometimes your finger can have oils on it and things like that. So I'm just very carefully patting it in and just kind of buffing it a little bit. And that's it. The chroming is done on that finger. I'm going to move on and do it on my thumb. And then I'll come back to tell you how we're going to encapsulate that, top coat it, all the good stuff. Okay, now here is where you want to be super careful and super gentle, because you're going to take your smudge-free top coat and you're going to top coat that chrome, and you're going to do it super carefully. You want to try to float that top coat as much as possible so that you're not streaking that brush across the top of that chrome. There's always the possibility that you can ruin the chrome, but if you're super careful and you float that top coat, it won't happen. So now that that is applied and it is dry, yes, dry, I'm going to apply my decals. Now, there are a lot of different ways you could do this. This is the way I choose to do it. So I am going to apply the decal right over that top coat, the no wipe top coat from 𝕉𝓼𝓼, and then I'm going to top coat it again to encapsulate it with the smudge-free top coat. And the reason that I'm doing that is to protect it from the activator, because if you try to swipe activator over water slide decals, you'll more than likely destroy the decal. The activator will make the colors bleed, and it could eat away at the decal, and you don't want that to happen. So I'm applying the top coat, the smudge-free top coat, over the top of the decal to prevent that from happening. And then, yes, I am going to activate over that once it's dry, and then apply my dip top coat as usual. Hope that was clear in my description. But again, I have a full tutorial. I will link it so you can go back and watch that one if you prefer. Now that I have explained everything I'm going to do in the next few minutes of this video, I'm going to take a break from talking. I'm going to go get a sip of water. I'm going to let you watch, and I will be back. Hey, I'm back. So I'm sure that you all noticed that I skipped a couple of nails, right? The nails that have the decals on them, I did not activate them yet. That's because they were not fully dried yet. So I'm gonna go in, I activated the other 3 nails, and I'm gonna go in with my top coat for those 3 nails only while I wait for the other nails to dry. You're gonna see me check a couple of times to see if they're dry enough, and then once they are, I'll go in with the activator over those 2 nails as well. But I just want to make sure that the top coat is fully dry. Otherwise, the dip top coat is not going to apply well, and it will most likely lift and chip because it's not, you know, it's too tacky and not completely dry. So the dip top coat won't adhere as well as it would once the top coat is completely dry. I hope I'm not over explaining this, but there's just a lot of things that need to come into play for the best application that'll last the longest for you. That's all. All right, I'm going gonna check. Yep, they're pretty dry. So I'm gonna go ahead and activate those babies and get them top coated as well. And as you can probably see, I am being very gentle with my activator brush. I am trying really hard not to disturb that top coat. We don't want to ruin those decals because I certainly do not want to start this process all over again. And yes, that is me fanning my fingers. I want to make sure that activator is dry before I apply my top coat. And here we are with the final look. What do you think about this set? I'm definitely not on the fence. I love it. The decals are really nice. Now, I'm gonna mention this because I have not noticed this with a lot of other decal companies. Because at one point I was gonna try to flip one of the decals over, as I have done in the past, because a lot of decal companies, you know, the image is the same on the front and the back. So if you just flip it over carefully with a pair of tweezers, it's just, you can face it in the opposite direction, right? You can't really do that with these. And the reason is because they are basically white on the flip side. Like on the back of the decal, they're white. But do you know what that means? You can wear them over colors and they'll be so vivid. You're not stuck wearing your water slide decals over a white nail. Brilliant, genius, I love it. I have to say, I have really enjoyed using these products. I want to say a huge thank you to Graceful Nails for sending all of these wonderful products to me and sponsoring this video. I hope you will all go check her shop out and give her some love. I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye now.